Welcome, everyone. I want to let everybody know about a person who influenced me and who I listened to for many years out of Los Angeles, where I lived most of my life, and that's Roy Tuckman. Roy of Hollywood, he's also known of. He has had a radio show from midnight to 6 a.m. on Pacifica Radio, KPFK FM in Los Angeles since 1977. So he's one of those things that is one of those rare things if you could get his show. And of course, Los Angeles has tens of millions of people living there, so even a small show gets out to a lot of people. He covers all the alternative stuff on his show. And, he's got 6 hours a night. That's a long time. So he plays a lot of different tapes and other things, and a lot of rare stuff you're not going to find. There was also a lot of actual interviews that he does himself, and I'm not sure what you can find on him, but I am going to leave his official website. The name of the show is Something Is Happening. So he covers all this stuff, and this is the first time I heard Terrence McKenna talk about hallucinogens. There's Colin Wilson, there's Jake Krishnamurti. All of these things he has tapes on of them speaking old programs that you're normally not going to find, which there's a lot of rare information here. He also did his own interviews, so and has been working with and connected to Elliot Mintz, a record producer and personality, particularly from the 70s and 80s. He has a master's degree in social anthropology from UCLA in 1967. So he's really an interesting guy and has a lot of very unusual stuff. So do check out his website, see what you can find. Maybe you can find some archives of what he's done on Michael Aquino and other things. He's got a lot of information on Michael Aquino, a lot of interviews he made with other people. I don't think he ever spoke to Aquino directly, or he would, but he has a lot of interviews, and he talks about Jenny Scott's book. I think he actually interviewed her as well, who investigated the Temple of Set, and one of the few people who went into the Temple of Set and was able to bring out information of what they were up to. So there's a whole book on that, and he goes into this, he goes into environmentalism, he goes into alternative health, and all these different areas, giving you a great education. This was a time when, and I guess it's still going on with him, that this kind of information is released. But when you're on that late and you're 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., 6 hours a night, that's a lot of time to fill. A lot of information was given out that way, and it's all alternative information, and it's all very interesting. So make sure you follow the link down below here. And of course, you all should be liking and subscribing. So many people just listen to these and don't click the like. This is part of the game that you have to do with YouTube, so make sure you do that. Check out the actual Something Is Happening official website that's listed below. But this is one of those people that nobody knows about because he's basically a local Los Angeles radio station guy. And even though he's been on for years and years, I don't think anybody's really heard about him nationally. And he's never really been able to catch on in the social media as far as I know. Now, you can find him, and again, I just don't have a lot of time. If you punch in or input Roy of Hollywood, Roy Tuckman, into YouTube, you'll find little bits and pieces by him. I mean, this guy has been on for years and years, and there doesn't seem to be any of his old shows posted anywhere, at least not on YouTube, which I'm kind of shocked with. He did work, as I've mentioned, with Elliot Mintz, M-I-N-T-Z, who was a famous producer. I think he worked with the Beatles at one time or whatever, but he was big in the record industry and so forth. And you can find conversations that he had with Elliot Mintz on there. Not much, and it doesn't seem like there's much good stuff there. So do check him out, Roy of Hollywood, Roy Tuckman, and see what you can find in him. And of course, go to his link that's down below to the actual site, KPFK Radio, and see what you can dig up on him. So there's a lot of little gems if any of this stuff is still available. If I have time in the future, I'm going to try and look into this more. But this is a good little project for somebody who wants to hunt around, particularly for information on Satanism and Michael Aquino and all the connections there, which are quite fascinating. And God knows what he's been up to in the last 20 years that I haven't been in connection with listening to him, since he has a show that's on for 6 hours every night. That's a lot of time to fill. So, he's going to certainly have to put something on there. And as I said, a lot of them were tapes of famous people, from Terrence McKenna, Christian Murdy, Colin Wilson, a whole bunch of other people who are, big in this entire area that everyone should be interested in to some degree. As I said, I remember him playing a lot of Terrence McKenna as well, having 6 hours to fill, and since McKenna does like to talk, you get a lot of information there. So do check this guy out. I thought I would pass it on. This is one of these little sources that nobody knows about. He was a local guy out of Los Angeles and really never went past that. And while Bill Jenkins and other people were very popular and very successful out of Los Angeles doing their alternative radio stuff, he never really got much of an attention. And you can't really find anything on him, and even now, and he's an old dude right now. I'm not sure how much more time he's got, but this is certainly one of those rare sources of information that if you dig into, maybe you can find it. But it's going to take a while to go through all of his listings, the station information there, and see exactly what he's up to. And I probably, in this day and age, we can listen to him online or listen to his old radio shows that may be just a few days or weeks or months old by checking out his link on KPFK Radio in Los Angeles. It's an FM radio station. And we can see exactly, get some inside information. But it's rare to get sources like this. It's like Bill Jenkins. I mean, he had interviews and was doing this stuff before all the last 10, 20 years has happened, where people have become very homogenized or have been over-glorified. And here's a guy that really looked into it, has been doing it all his life, a real child of the 60s, a, quote, kind of hippie-type dude, who was looking into this and trying to get people educated since basically the middle to late 70s. So check this out, and this could be a gold mine. You're going to have to do a little mining. Until next time.